Doctor, I saw that Tony Fauci pretty much from the beginning. What kind of Dr. Fauci did you see?
Yes, I agree with you, Katie. I just want to say something. Gottlieb is completely flawed as a messenger about anybody. He's got the biggest conflict of interest during the pandemic. He was on the board of Pfizer, pushing that must have lockdowns until the Pfizer vaccine came out. So, I mean, that's just silly that he's even on TV about this. But let's talk about Fauci. I mean, Fauci, nothing that came out of that diary was a shock to me. I saw everything with my own eyes. And unfortunately, I couldn't convince a lot of people that the guy was not only incompetent, but just saying things that were totally inconsistent and didn't know the data, frankly. So what I saw from the diary, and I see Jennifer, who's my friend, nodding yes, is he lied about what he was even saying. He lied about masks in the beginning. You may remember he said masks couldn't possibly work. Then he was talking about how 2 masks work, and he started talking about that in the diary. He said that the way that he was trying to suffocate dissenting views was evident in the diary. He was complicitly working with the media to try to stop publications from disagreeing with his, to get me fired from the White House because I was disagreeing. And he even admitted, though, in his diary that his accusation of me trying to say, let it rip to get herd immunity and get everybody infected, which of course was used as a ploy to make the public think I was dangerous and delegitimize everyone who criticized him. He said he knew I wasn't for that in August in the diary. And then the other point I want to make about his lie, which is very impactful, he said in October, Atlas was right. The schools are not the place. Open schools do not cause the cases to spread. Yet he never admitted that publicly. This is October of 2020. He let that lie stand that schools were dangerous to open, and therefore schools were closed for 1 year, 2 years in some states. And we saw all the damage from that, not only physical damage to kids, not only learning losses, but really irreparable harms, including
Right.
people whose kids committed suicide. Okay, I
Yes,
mean, this is
exactly.
sinful what was done here.
Yes, 100%. The consequences of the decisions that were made and the lies that were told by Dr. Fauci that he claims he had nothing to do with because he never takes responsibility for anything. The impact really is difficult to grapple with.